quiz time once again on consuming passions. And the question is, why are today's pizzas the shape and size they are? Of course, it's so they fit into all those flat cardboard boxes. But that wasn't always the case. Traditional pizzas came in all sorts of shapes and sizes. For instance, the pizza rustica often came with a lid. And the calzone is more like a pasty. And it's the calzone that is on the menu today in Consuming Passions. Pizza dough folded over a mixture of ricotta cheese and other splendid ingredients. The process starts with a yeast booster. I take a little sugar, about a teaspoon or so, a little flour, again a teaspoon or so, and some dried yeast. 1 sachet will be enough. I mix these with a little tepid water and allow the mixture to stand for a few minutes. During that time, the yeast will come to life. Now I take some plain white flour, about 500 grams, make a well in the middle, and add a little olive oil, a good virgin olive oil for this, and my yeast mixture, and mix it well. I then add water to make it into a reasonably firm dough. Once it's well mixed, it's covered with a damp tea towel and allowed to stand for at least an hour in a warm place. If you don't have a warm place, leave it for longer. Now to that ricotta filling. I've taken a quantity of ricotta cheese and I've allowed the whey to drain away from it, and now it's ready for use. Into a large bowl. Now this is a beautiful, soft, delicately flavored cheese with a creamy consistency, but it is, however, low in fat. It's mixed with a little grated Parmesan cheese, higher in fat, but also stronger in flavor, so I don't need to use very much. Now to some anchovy fillets. These are Australian anchovy fillets, and I used 10 or 11 or even a dozen of these. Depends how much you like a fishy flavor. They go in with the cheeses and some sage leaves, chopped up finely. You could use dried sage. It does dry quite well. But don't use too much. It's quite a powerful herb. Some dried tomatoes. I know that some dried tomatoes are a bit passé these days, but in this dish, they're perfectly all right. A little pepper, some grated nutmeg, and it's all mixed together well. And I return to the dough. It should have risen in size, which it has, and it's just transferred to a well-floured work surface. It's then kneaded. This is one of my favorite cooking jobs. A good kneading. I love to knead. I need to knead. Just make sure that the dough doesn't stick to the board. Adding flour when necessary. And after about 5 minutes, I divide the mixture into 4, then roll out each piece for my calzone into a rough circle, and a thin rolling pin is best for this job, I find anyway. Once rolled, I put a dollop of the ricotta mixture onto one side, wet around the edge, fold over the other side, and make sure that the parcel is well sealed. It then goes onto an oiled baking tray, and once I've made 4, there's only one thing to do before they go into the oven, and that's a light brushing of olive oil in which I've had a garlic clove gently resting for that slight garlic flavor. And it's into the oven. A hot oven, about 220 degrees C, for around 20 minutes, or until the tops are a beautiful golden brown. When the calzone is cooked, there are only 2 things left to do. To cut it open unleashing those aromas of tomato, ricotta, and sage, and consuming with passion, and possibly a small glass of dry red Australian wine. From Consuming Passions, till next time, bon appetit.